Hello friends, today we're going to be talking about this sweet truck right here. This is the UDI RC Sierra Max. This is a 1/10 scale trophy truck, 1/10 scale short course truck. It is very similar to the Losi Baja Ray in that it is a solid rear axle, independent front suspension. It's 4-wheel drive. I got it from A-Main for about $469, a little bit cheaper than the Baja Ray, and I think it's fitting. I mean, this body does come with no stickers on it. They include the stickers, but it comes without them, so you can put whatever you want on it. It's pretty cool. Stickers were super easy to put on. They had the masking and everything to apply them. It has a light bar, 2 light bars on the front, one by the roof, and then also one in the tail and the rear. Super nice. Out of the box, this thing, it's interesting to drive. Just like a Baja Ray or other solid rear axle truck, it handles more realistic, which is what makes these fun. The dimensions of this, however, though, is the same width as a Slash and only about 7 millimeters longer than a Slash, which means you can get creative. It's a little bit easier to get creative with short course size bodies. So this is the plan for this one, is going with the drag bug body. We already got it painted up, and the plan is to get this thing mounted. It does come with a 2700 kV brushless motor, which is, in comparison to the Baja Ray, slightly slower. That one comes with a 3800 kV. So comparison, I'll be doing a comparison video between the two later on. This I have upgraded to a Spectrum 3800 kV system, same one out of a Baja Ray. And then I also upgraded the servo already to a Schiff's RC XB servo. It's a decent budget-friendly servo. Out of the box, the servo is a bit slow, which, I mean, that's any ready to run. Any ready to run, you're going to change out the servo. The radio that it comes with isn't terrible. I mean, it is a radio, and it does make it go. It's got all your basic functions on it. Nothing too exciting. I swapped it out. I did do a full teardown video on this that I'll be releasing later. I just wanted to get something quick out. I've had this for a little bit now and have probably 6 or 7 packs through this. 6, 7. I can't believe I just did that. And honestly, the only problem that I've had with this, the only maintenance really that I've had to do, is this hinge pin screw here starts coming out. If you have a Slash, or if drove a Slash, or Traxxas 2-wheel drive, that's what happens on those two, so you can't really fault it for that. Just like any other ready to run, there's gonna be flaws. There's gonna be things that are different. This thing has less steering than the Baja Ray, so getting it around the track is a little bit tighter, getting around my backyard track anyway. But honestly, if you looked at every trophy truck 1-to-1 size, they're not all going to be the same. They're not all going to perform the same. They're not all going to feel the same. So it's kind of nice that it feels different. It doesn't just feel like a slightly shorter Baja Ray. The rear axle is a fairly unique design in that it's split right down the middle and basically held together with this brace, and there's this metal diff case, I guess you could say, diff cover. So it's a bit much to tear apart the rear axle. I believe I believe it said that there was 30K diff fluid in the front and rear axle, and I believe 100K in the middle. In the center diff, it does have a center diff, which is nice. The overall feel of the truck feels good. It did come with some tools. These tools here are pretty nice, not gonna lie. I mean, the fact that these are tools that we sell at the hobby shop, and this is what it comes with. It doesn't come with the chintzy little L-shaped ones. It's pretty nice. It is an all metal transmission with metal gears inside there, and it's super easy to tear out. It's super easy to get to, and honestly, the parts for this thing, it's crazy. I bought a whole rear axle for like 40 bucks. That's whole completely assembled. So I got that basically just so that way I can change out the diffs, and then it's easier to change out the axle. And I'm probably just going to use a whole other axle for another project. But overall, I have been happy with this truck. It did come with some extra springs, which were nice, which was nice. However, I don't know if this was a mistake or if this was the actual intention, but these springs came with 4 of them. I put 2 of them on the front already, but they are the same length as what come on the rear, not on the front. Front are shorter than the rear, but it came with 4 of the same length springs. Now, when I was driving it, it really felt to me like the front end was really nosing down and you really had to stay on it, almost like keeping a boat on plane. And unthreading the preload collars and just putting these on has made this thing handle so much better. And it doesn't quite have the travel in the front as something like the Baja Ray, but adding this extra springs that it included has been extremely beneficial. I've mainly driven it on my backyard track and at the beach. It's handled pretty good. I mean, it's handled everything that I've thrown at it. It's been beat on. I mean, it's crashed many times. I've hit the fence outside many times. It's taken some good tumbles, and it's holding up pretty good. So I am thankful for that. I have been happy with this purchase. Out of the box, I mean, it's not perfect, but what ready to run is. Normally you're going to want to upgrade them and change them, and that's what you're going to do anyways. Overall, it looks good. I mean, the 2700 kV motor does leave a little bit to be desired, I think. And the only real flaws that I have ran into with this has been the steering. The steering is not nearly as much as the Baja Ray. I mean, that's all you get out of that. It's full lock. But being 4-wheel drive, you can jam that throttle and kick it sideways. So I plan on thickening up the diff fluid in the center diff just to really help pivot it around. And then the other, I say flaw, but it's, for me, it's not bad. It's not that bad, but the transmission, and I'll go over this in the breakdown video, but the transmission doesn't have much for adjustability as far as your motor mount goes. It does come with a pinion gear. I believe it's a 15 tooth pinion. And unfortunately, the way that it's positioned, the way that it's built, you can't see the gear mesh. So I'm just going off of how it sounds. There's such little movement that all the way with the motor as far away as possible, it's still making contact with that gear, and the gear mesh sounds pretty good. It doesn't sound perfect, but it sounds still good enough to drive with. Or you tighten it up and it almost sounds too tight. So there's really there's not much of adjustability. I haven't played around to see if I can go up or down on pinion gears, but if I can, it might only be one, maybe two teeth. So I will be playing around with that a little bit more. But honestly, with the 3800 kV Spectrum that I put in it, it does move it pretty good. It feels a lot better. I've just been running it on 2S, especially with this Spectrum system, and it is just as fast as the Baja Ray. They have the same system, so whereas before this had to be on 3S to be just as fast as the Baja Ray was on 2S. So there are some differences there. And I mean, the Baja Ray at 549, I believe it is, and this at 469, I'll say, just from A-Main. I'm not disappointed. I mean, it would have been better at the 399 mark, you know, sure. There's not much detail in these. I say that there's not much detail in like the little accessories, but it's really just stickers that are on the Baja Ray. It's the same thing basically, but just it's stickers. And honestly, we can change all that. We can paint stuff. We can detail things and make things better. Out of the box, probably does 35-ish, 30, 35. But I enjoy the look of it. I bought the truck because of its dimensions. I wanted to play around with that and see if I can just slap a different body on here. That's more beneficial to me than anything else, because if I can just change the look by just doing that, it's a lot easier. The Baja Ray is another 1.5 inches longer, I think it was. So in comparison, I mean, I don't know if I would say buy this instead of the Baja Ray, but if you have a Baja Ray and you want another trophy truck, don't count this one out. I mean, I haven't taken it to a skate park or anything like that, because to me, this isn't the kind of truck you'd take to a skate park. This isn't what you'd see out there. So I like the realistic appearance of it. And I mean, with the abuse that I've put it through, I've been happy with it. It's scuffed up, it's scratched up, but no complaints here. And that is my overview and quick review of this truck. Get it if you want, or don't get it. That's entirely up to you. But it's super fun. And listen. Oh yeah. Squeaky sex bed springs. That's what this thing's got. So you know it's good. Tiny truck on, mother...